Good evening, everybody. Sorry, trying out new voice. Today, we're going into chapter 18 of my vampire book I wrote while I was in the military. It's titled The Fight. So let's just jump right on into it. Chapter 18 The Fight. Everybody was waiting in their trucks for Wicket to give the signal. Wicket was watching Craig's trailer from afar for Craig to come outside. He had been waiting for a while when he finally saw him come out. Wicket slowly reached for the radio mic and pressed the button. Everybody be advised that Craig is out of his trailer, and we will begin open fire in 10 seconds. Over. Roger, everybody said. Wicket looked up at Devin, who was standing through the sunroof and had the 50 caliber rifle ready to fire. You ready, Devin? Devin looked down and said, Yes, I'm ready. Good. Be sure to hit him first. I'll try. Wicket pressed the button. Open fire. He watched as gunfire went straight towards all the trailers. Craig quickly turned into his werewolf form and ran towards the nearest tree. He went down just before he made it to the trees. Wicket smiled and watched the rest of the trailers get hit with gunfire. After a couple of minutes of gunfire, Wicket finally called a ceasefire. Everybody got out of their trucks to walk around and get the damage report. Wicket and Devin walked straight to where they saw Craig fall. They walked all the way to the trees and turned around. I don't get it. I hit him before he made it to the trees. I know that, is what I thought, Wicket said as he looked around the trees. That is because you did hit me, said Craig's voice from behind them. But you see, I was expecting something like this. In fact, I was planning for it. So everybody here are wearing bulletproof vests. Shit, yelled Wicket. Everybody looked out. They are not dead. All the werewolves got up and started attacking the group. Wicket watched as the werewolves were closing in fast. When he heard a scream from behind him, he turned around and saw that Craig had Devin in his arms holding a knife up to her throat. Don't move, or I will decapitate your love, Craig said as he slowly moved back into the trees. Let her go, Craig. Your fight is with me, not her. On the contrary, Wicket, you do most everything for her. Maybe I should just kill her now. Maybe it would save me some time instead of having to do it later. Devin was looking at Wicket and could tell that he was just waiting for her to get free. She slowly moved back with Craig until the time was right. We all know here that you won't kill me first, Craig. Craig was surprised that Devin was actually talking. Oh yeah? And why is that? Well, it is quite simple. You have a thing for me, just like everybody else does. Why do you think Wicket turned me in the first place? Devin said, as she slowly kept pushing Craig backwards. Wicket watched as the two slowly moved back. He turned you because he knew that you were my best girl and that I didn't allow vampires in my club at the time. Well, apparently you do now, don't you? By the way, where is William? Asked Devin. Don't change the subject, Missy. We all know why your lover boy there turned you. No matter what you guys say, it won't change the fact that you were my girl first, and he changed you to have you for himself. Wicket started clapping his hands. Congratulations, Craig. You finally got something right for a change. And who said you were dumb? Yes, I turned her so that I could have her, but she was willing to be turned. I didn't have to subdue her like I did for some of your other followers. I must say, a lot of them didn't want to leave a werewolf for a vampire, which I still don't understand. That's because I treated them like royalty, Craig said. You treat us like shit, Devin said. Well, just keep your mouth out of this. This is between two old business partners. Craig stopped moving backwards and stood still. He watched as Wicket slowly moved forward. Then all of a sudden the floor from under Wicket's feet fell, and he went into a hole. William came down from the trees and stood next to the hole laughing. He quickly put a weighted net over the hole so that Wicket couldn't jump out of the hole. Look what I have here. Looks like a pathetic, useless vampire. I wouldn't say pathetic just yet, Wicket said as he looked around the hole. He was lucky because there were tall spikes coming up from the floor that he barely missed. The hole is about 10 feet deep and looked smooth on the sides. It seems that you and Craig have thought this out pretty well, but were you expecting me to actually hit the spikes? Well, yes, we were, but since you didn't, it doesn't really matter because it will be more fun to see you burn to death once the sun comes up, William said as he started to laugh. Wicket laughed at William. Wow, you're just as dumb as Craig is. You won't be able to see me burn because you will be burning too if you stay. Devin watched as William left the hole and went into the forest. He came back quickly, holding a tripod with a camera on top. You see, stupid vampire, I have already thought of that, and I will be recording it so I can watch it again and again. William, Craig said as he slightly loosened his hold on Devon, stop joking with him and set everything up. We don't have a lot of time. Just then, Devon made her move. She felt that Craig no longer had much pressure on the knife he had to her throat, so she quickly moved her hand up and pushed it away from her throat and moved out away from Craig's grasp. She quickly brought his hand that was holding the knife towards him and stabbed him in the chest. He let out a yell and quickly fell to the ground. William turned around and saw. What happened? Nothing I can't handle, Devon said as she ran and pushed William into the pit. The net didn't hold up William, and he fell into the spikes below. Wicket covered himself the best he could and waited until the net was all the way down. Then he lifted it up off of him and looked over at William. He had a spike through his gut and one through his leg. Well, I would love to stay and chat with you, Willie, but my girl's up there, and she doesn't like to be kept waiting. He looked around and bent down. He jumped and landed next to Devon, who was smiling at him. He quickly took her in his arms and kissed her. Now then, where is Mr. Craig at? Devon started walking towards Craig's body. He is over here. Don't worry, I didn't kill him, just gave him a little chest wound. They walked up to Craig, and Wicket bent down. He took out the knife and threw it into the forest. You see, Craig, if you would have changed into your wolf form, maybe you wouldn't have this open chest cut here. But since you don't like to think your plan's all the way out, you do. Now then, get up. He quickly helped Craig get to his feet and held him in his arms with one around his neck. Now move. The three emerged from the trees and saw that the battle was still going on. The wolves were in their wolf form and had the vampires surrounded. Hey, wolves, yelled Wicket. Step aside and let my guys go by, and maybe I won't kill your leader. Otherwise, I will have to, and then come after all of you. The wolves slowly changed back into their human forms and stepped aside. The vampires walked over to Wicket and Devon. What is the plan now? Asked John. Well, for starters, we are going to put Craig here in the back of your truck in the bed, and be sure to chain him up so that he won't be able to get free. Wicket turned Craig over to John. Then we are going to get into our trucks and call it a night. How many do we lose? Jerry stepped forward. It is what we considered. We lost most of the girls because they didn't quite have the fighting technique down like we thought, but we still have, well, the main ones. Wicket shook his head. I see. He stepped past Jerry and faced Craig's pack. We have your leader. As you can see, he is already hurt, and I have no problem hurting him some more. If I see, smell, or even sense that we are being followed, I will kill him. Is that understood? The pack looked up at Wicket and nodded. We understand, one of them said, and they started walking away. Wicket turned around. Well then, let's mount up and head back. What about the trucks that won't have anybody? Asked Turbo. Idiot, Luke said. We won't need gunners, so any truck that doesn't have anybody, we will just have one of our gunners drive it home. We can't exactly do that, Steven said, stepping forward. We have too many people that are injured who won't be able to drive a truck. What you see here is what we have to drive, minus John. Wicket looked over at Shane. Shane, do you think your big rig could pull the empty trucks? Shane laughed. Of course it can. Good, then we tow them home. Now then, let's get everything ready so that we can get out of here quickly, Wicket said as he walked over to his truck. He opened the back door and saw Sasha laying on the seat. Crap, he whispered. I forgot about her. Devon walked up. How can you forget about our beautiful Sasha? That is chapter 18. So the next one will be chapter 19, the new system. I don't know how many chapters are left. I guess there's a couple more. A lot more, actually. All right. 25, 27 and epilogue. So still have a lot more to go. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, let me know in the comments. Thank you. Bye.